Now, what do Gary Barlow and myself have in common? On the face of it, probably not a lot. One of us is the front man of one of the largest boy bands. They put the very idea of a boy band on the map in Take That. And the other one is me. We also have family from Cheshire, so we do share that in common. But more importantly, we have a love of Australian wine. And today I'm going to taste two wines that were featured in his recent TV show, where Gary Barlow has the incredibly lucky job of cruising around Australia, eating some great food and drinking some wonderful wine with some pretty nice people. So today I'm just going to have a quick taste of these and to see what all the fuss is about. Now, in the episode in Victoria, Gary found himself down on the Mornington Peninsula with his good mate, Dannii Minogue. I am a big fan of the Minogue sisters, who are Melbourne born and bred. Now, the Mornington Peninsula could be described as a hidden gem, but that would actually be a terrible description because there's nothing hidden about it. It's actually just over an hour away from Melbourne, and it is an incredible place. It has this gorgeous combination of windswept, rugged beaches that face the Southern Ocean, and then on the bay side these lovely, gentle, calm, shallow waters with sailing boats bobbing about in the distance. The whole place is just idyllic. And then in the central seam it's this lovely combination of beautiful forests and heathland and then vineyards. And I'm talking about great wine producers. These are generally small scale, with very welcoming cellar doors, unassuming people who are just making outstanding wines. And for me, this region is all about two grapes, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Now, Gary found himself at the absolutely brilliant producer, 10 Minutes by Tractor. They're up near a little village called Red Hill, and that's in the sort of the centre of the Mornington Peninsula. But the amazing thing about this region is you're never far from the ocean. On one side you have the bay, and on the other the Great Southern Ocean, and you're only ever about 7 kilometres away, so you've got these really cooling influences, so the grapes aren't getting really hot, and you're getting these wonderful wines with great freshness, beautiful acidity, and they are just so Moorish. So let's have a little taste of this wine here. So this is a gorgeous Chardonnay. Now in the programme, Gary actually tasted their Pinot Noir, but today I thought it would be fun to taste their Chardonnay as well, because he did such a great job of enjoying that. I want to have a go with this. And it smells just beautiful. This is all estate grown fruit, so that means that this producer is growing all of their own fruit. They pick everything by hand, and it's a really highly intensive process of manual labour making this very elegant wine. And it's got this gorgeous nose of lemon curd, a little bit creamy. There's a sort of vanilla spicy lick, and also some lovely sort of tartar white peaches. It's very, very appealing. And that comes through in abundance. And I've got the citrus. My mouth is watering. Oh my word, that's absolutely gorgeous. Lovely, yeah, the vanilla creamy note as well, just from that sort of blend of a little bit of new and old oak. And the whole thing has just got so much intensity of flavour, and it just keeps going on and on and on. I can understand why Gary and Dannii love this wine so much. I certainly do, and I cannot wait to have another glass. Now, it seems that Gary has a little bit of a sweet tooth, and who can blame him when it comes to this wine? In my glass right now, I have a Rutherglen Muscat. Now, he and Dannii enjoyed some of that with a great hunking slice of tiramisu. Now, I don't have a huge bit, but I do have this lovely bit of tiramisu that I'm looking forward to tasting alongside this wine. Now, Rutherglen Muscat is utterly unique. Rutherglen is a region in northeastern Victoria. Now, it's important to remember in Victoria there are over 21 wine growing regions. It is a remarkable place, creating such a range of styles, and this one is truly unique. There is nowhere else in the world making wines quite like this. It's made out of 100% Muscat Petit Grain Rouge or Muscat Petit Grain Rouge. So it's a particular variety of grape from the Muscat family that is really, really special. It's a red grape variety, and when they grow it, it's often left on the vine to create some really nice resinous flavours. And then when they're fermenting the wine, they stop it at a certain point to keep those sugars and add in some fortification sort of to boost it up. So this is actually 17.5%. So it's a fortified wine, in the same way that a port or a sherry might be a fortified wine. And this is a really exciting example of this wine. Now, muscats can age and age and age. So I've gone for the earliest, youngest expression, which is 5 years old. And I'm really looking forward to tasting this. I've got it in a wine glass here, but actually it's really nice just served chilled over some ice with a pudding, such as I have here, and you're going to be into a really nice territory. So let's have a little smell. It smells gorgeous. It's got this lovely kind of fudgy note, really a bit marmaladey, dried apricots. It smells very inviting. And that is beautiful. It just coats your mouth. This is high sugar, really generous and viscous. And it all comes through those kind of little bit sort of chocolatey, but lots of, I think, burnt orange caramel, apricot-y notes coming through. And now I get to eat some tiramisu. That is wonderful. And I get to drink more of this. And it does just go exquisitely together. What a harmony. Got that little bit of the dusting of chocolate, the little bit of the kind of cocoa note coming through. And then this nice kind of fruity, luscious, concentrated joy. That is a great combo, and I can understand why Gary and Dannii enjoyed it so much. What I loved about both of the wines that Gary and Dannii drank in this episode was that they are exploring a really interesting side to Australia, which is its wine production. Now, we always think of Australia as maybe being somewhere that has only relatively recently started producing wine, but this Muscat is being produced for over 150 years. This is some serious winemaking pedigree. And then, yes, in the Mornington Peninsula, the history is a little bit more recent, but it's certainly been developing over the last 40 years or so. And I think that is just pioneering in itself. They're both beautiful wines, totally different from a state that produces some really show-stoppingly good wines. And if you ever manage to see anything from the Mornington Peninsula, I heartily recommend that you buy it. You're going to be guaranteed a real high benchmark of quality. Unfortunately, it's small-scale production and not a huge amount actually gets exported. But what actually does find its way onto our shelves is absolutely outstanding. So when you see that name, you can be really assured that you're going to be drinking something wonderful. And if you've never tried a fortified style of wine, then this is a wonderful one to go in for. As I say, just serve it a little bit chilled over some ice, and it's really great. It works in a lot of cocktails as well. So it's something to sort of explore, and I think, isn't that just the best thing about wine? And seeing two friends going out, eating some nice food, drinking some nice wine, having a good time, that for me is what life is all about. Cheers.